Hey, it's Brandon Blood back with another YouTube video. Welcome to Bleak Sunday. If you're wondering what Bleak Sunday is, it's 12 channels coming together to celebrate the holiday with Halloween-themed videos covering a broad spectrum of eerie, creepy, spooky topics, including monster toys and memorabilia, visual arts, movie discussions, horror store autographs, haunted history tours of Salem and St. Louis, home haunts, and chilling ghost story readings. I'm so thrilled to be a part of something this awesome. As you can see on the screen, I have picked horror-themed autographs as my subject. My first item from my collection I have chosen is my Herschel prop replica head from Trick or Treat Studios. Herschel was a character on The Walking Dead played by the super talented Scott Wilson. Sadly, Scott Wilson passed away October 6, 2018. He had more than 50 film credits, including In the Heat of the Night, In Cold Blood, The Great Gatsby, Dead Man Walking, Pearl Harbor, and Junebug. Herschel was one of my favorite characters on The Walking Dead, and I met Scott several times at conventions, and he was one of the nicest celebs I ever met. When I set the Herschel head down on his table for him to sign at Walker Stalker Con, he had a huge smile and said, "That's what I'm talking about. It's forever a memory I will never forget." Of all the autographs in my collection, this one has gotten the most comments over the years. Moving on to the next item is another item that I consider a favorite item in my collection. I know I repeat that a lot, but I have a lot of awesome items in my collection, I feel like, and I've met a lot of awesome celebs, so I've been really blessed with that. This is, as you can see, is a Halloween 3 pumpkin mask. This is also from Trick or Treat Studios. I'm a huge Halloween 3 fan, and I've always have been. I met Tom Atkins twice, with over 80 credits, and he's still making movies. Tom is a super awesome guy as well, and fan-friendly at these conventions. He is coming back to Horror Hound next March, and I hope to get my skull mask signed by him as well. When you get something signed, he also does photos at his table. Here I am with him at Horror Hound Weekend with one of my best friends, Kristen. And here I am again, once again at Horror Hound Weekend with him. One more comment about Halloween 3 before moving on. I watch it every October, usually the 30th or the 31st of the month. Moving on, we have Andrew J. West, who played Garrett in the AMC horror drama The Walking Dead. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh great, another Walking Dead item if you're not a fan of the show. But I had to put this one in too. When I was going through my stuff deciding what are some of my favorite items, this one always stands out to me as one of my favorite items. Because when I met Andrew J. West, he said that was pretty cool what I brought for him to sign. And he also said I was the first person that brought a body part for him to sign. I met him at Wizard World, Ohio in Columbus. And see, I'm always trying to think of things that get signed that is different than just your basic 8x10 photo. So I thought, what better idea than to have his character Garrett sign a foot? Because the fact that he was a cannibal. I love how he not only signed it, he put "a man's gotta eat" on it, as well as his character name. I don't have a photo of me and him, but I have to say he was super nice and fan-friendly. And I also don't think he does a lot of conventions, so I was pretty thrilled to have met him. Next up, we have the great Lloyd Kaufman. Lloyd Kaufman and Troma have become icons in the cult movie world, and Troma has distributed over 1,000 films. I was lucky enough to meet Lloyd at Horror Hound Weekend, and he is super duper fan friendly and takes time. I met him on a Friday, and actually the line wasn't that long at the time because I had early access. But the funny thing about it is, even though it's a short line, it took a while to get to him because he spent so much time with each person, and you could tell that he really enjoyed mingling with the fans. And got to talking about things and what I did in the real world, and he asked what the name of my store was, and I love how he signed this tape. He put, "Too Crazy Conqueror Carl. Treasure Chest is the best." Troma was a big influence on me growing up, and I love their movies, and I think it is part of the reason it inspired me to actually have a toy store. Hopefully I will get to meet him again one day because he's just so awesome to hang out and talk to at a convention. And there's always a Troma movie something maybe released on Blu-ray that I don't have yet, or I want to upgrade, etc. But I was pretty thrilled to get the VHS signed. I have a few various VHSs in my collection that I have gotten signed. But if you ever have a chance to talk to him at a convention, don't pass it up. You will not regret it. Moving on, the next item I have has a See No Evil 2 theme going on with it. I have this plastic weapon that I first got Danielle Harris to sign at a convention. Then an entire year later, I had the Soska sisters sign. They directed the movie See No Evil 2. I told them I wanted to add them to my weapon that I'd had Danielle sign. They were like, "Oh my God, we love Danielle." And one of them held it up and took a picture of it, and they were texting it to Danielle while they were signing it for me, which I thought was great and also makes for another great con experience. I mentioned to them that I was getting Catherine Isabel to sign it next. I asked them why they kept killing Catherine in all their movies. And they were like, because she looks so good covered in blood. Catherine overheard me talking to them because she was at the table next to them. She was like, "Yes, why do you keep killing me?" It's another great con memory that I will always cherish. I then got in line to talk to Catherine Isabel and talked a little bit about Ginger Snaps because it's one of my favorites, but I had her sign something that I'm not sure is going to make this video, but who knows, if I get invited back to do something like this again next year, maybe I'll do a part 2. But anyway, I got her on the weapon as well, and hopefully one day I'll be able to get Kane to sign this, and I will have most of the main characters from See No Evil 2. Meeting Robert Englund the first time was huge for me. When it comes to horror movies, Nightmare on Elm Street for modern horror is one of my favorites. All of us have to sleep eventually. I was so excited though when I met him, I didn't ask him to sign Freddy Krueger on the figure. So when I look at this, it just kind of makes me laugh a little bit. I was like, yeah, I'll sign it, but I also wanted him to put Freddy Krueger on it, but unfortunately, I didn't mention that to him. Robert was great, and at the time was doing photos at his table, with long lines, etc. I don't think he does table photos anymore. Robert is fantastic, super fan-friendly. If you ever get a chance to meet him, you have to do it. Also, if he does a question and answer panel, you need to go and listen to him talk. His panels are some of the best you can listen to at horror conventions. As for my photo with him, I debated if I should wear the Freddy Krueger sweater or not for the photo op I was having taken with him, and my cousin Janetta was like, "Yes, do it, wear the sweater." So I went back and forth and I listened to her, and now, these years later, I am glad that I did that, because I'm really happy with how the photo turned out with me in the Freddy Krueger sweater. This figure here that I had signed by Robert is made by Super 7 as part of their reaction line, made to look like toys from the 70s and the 80s with 5-point articulation. It's not the first reaction figure I have signed, but it's one of my favorites. The last item I am doing now is my zombie Myrtle mask from The Walking Dead, signed by Michael Rooker. Get asked, of all the conventions I've been to and all the celebrities I've met, if I have a favorite person I met. It's a really hard question to answer because 99% of my experience at conventions have been amazing. Everyone is super nice and down to earth. But if I was forced to pick one, I would probably say Michael Rooker. I have met him and had him sign multi-items over the years. The Myrtle mask here is also a Trick or Treat Studios item, and it's him after he was turned into a zombie, which is one of my top 3 or 4 favorite Walking Dead episodes of all time. I thought the signature turned out great. Masks are not easy to sign. Me and one of my best friends, David, if we're at a convention and Michael Rooker's there, even though we've already met him several times, we always go over and have something else signed. I can't wait to meet him again. I'm hoping that he will show up at Horror Hound in Cincinnati next year. So this concludes my video for Bleak Sunday. I just wanted to thank you all for watching my video, and please check out the other videos. I'm so thankful to be a part of this great group of creators. I myself am anxious to watch the other videos because these people I already subscribe to and they have outstanding content. And like I said, I'm very thankful to be a part of this year. I hope everyone has an amazing Halloween season. Thanks again, and bye. I will see you soon.